Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My dear students, third year, College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, Ajman University. I would like to welcome you. This is your second semester. You are getting ready to final year. And my name is Muawiyah Al-Tabakha. I will be teaching you biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. Usually, the first class is very important because you come to know what you're gonna have in terms of topics, in terms of quizzes, assignments, responsibilities. That's why it's very important for you to watch this video. You already completed biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics 1, which mainly focuses on biopharmaceutics. And I'm not sure if you know the definition of biopharmaceutics. Biopharmaceutics is a term that is defined as the interrelationship between the physicochemical properties of the drug, the dosage form, formulations, the relationship of that with the bioavailability. Bioavailability is defined as the rate and extent to which the drug reaches the site of action. So we are looking at the interrelationship between factors that can influence the bioavailability of the drugs. In this semester, we are going to focus more into pharmacokinetics. Now, pharmacokinetics is defined as the kinetics, or it's a mathematical description. Kinetic, طبعا, it means حركة, it means movement. So how do you describe the movement? You need to describe it in mathematical terms. That's why we define pharmacokinetics as mathematical description of ADME processes. Mathematical description of ADME processes. شو يعني ADME? ADME is abbreviation for absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. إذن when we say pharmacokinetic, we mean إيش حكينا mathematical description of ADME processes. شو الميتابوليزم والexcretion? What do they constitute? They constitute a process of elimination. Okay? إذن metabolism and excretions, they're a way to eliminate the drug from the body. Absorption and distribution allows the drug to reach the site of action, and this is by which the drug can provide its effect. Of course, biopharmaceutics can affect the pharmacokinetics. That's why they are usually studied together. Now, before I start talking about the course plan, I want you to know that this course is very, 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 very important course. Actually, the pharmacokinetic is usually part of pharmacology. Yani when they ask what is pharmacology, pharmacology is pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic. Now you know what is pharmacodynamic. Pharmacodynamic looks at the effect of the drug. يعني the interaction of the drug at the receptor site and the effects that the drug has, the interaction the drug has. This is pharmacodynamic. So essentially pharmacology is pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamic. Because pharmacokinetics are involved in many aspects of drugs, such as formulations, that's why pharmacokinetic is now a subject, a course by itself. We have, for example, clinical pharmacokinetics, or simply basic pharmacokinetics. And we have, as you see here, biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. It's a very important course. It looks at how the drug, or how fast, or what is the rate of drug absorption, how fast it gets into the system, how fast it distributes, how does it distribute, and how it's eliminated from the body. Now, the knowledge of this can allow you to design a dosage regimen. شو يعني design a dosage regimen? Designing a dosage regimen means you'll be able to tell the patient, for example, take this drug at this dose, بدوز معين, for example 100 milligram, one time or two times or three times a day. So this information, أي information اللي هي the frequency of dosing and what is the dose to give. Is it important? هل هاي information is important or not? If it is important, then you know that this course is very important. Okay? Okay, let's start now. Of course, this is the course plan, and here you have the office hours. You have 4 hours, office hours. طبعا I put it here on Sunday and Tuesday, 12:30 to 2:30 on Sunday and Tuesday. But as you know, probably I taught you dosage forms 1, and you know that my office is open to you all the time whenever I'm available. So you do not need to stick to these timings. You are most welcome. I appreciate any student who comes, for example, to ask question regarding the course. Okay. As you see here, this is the timing for the lectures. For section 21, the timing is 9:30 to 10:30, and for section 22, it's 10:30 to 11:30. I believe that will be in room 6, classroom 6. Okay. طبعا for the labs, you have for the girls section, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, these are the labs. I will be passing to the labs to see how you are doing. Regarding the textbook, the main textbook is the Applied Biopharmaceutics and Pharmacokinetics. This is by Shargil. Now, this textbook is very famous. It's required almost in all universities worldwide. And the latest edition we have is 2015. That is the 7th edition by McGraw-Hill Education. There is additional textbook, which is basic pharmacokinetics, that makes it simple for you to grasp the information, to understand maybe better. Some students, they like to read from Applied Biopharmaceutics. Some students, they like to read from basic pharmacokinetics. There is also a nice textbook regarding the application of pharmacokinetics. Now, why do you learn about pharmacokinetics? You learn about it to apply it in clinical situations. شو يعني clinical situation? يعني, for example, when I want to give a specific patient, an individual with certain characteristics, I want to give a certain drug, then I need to individualize the dosage regimen for this particular patient. In this case, you need to know about the application by reading concepts in clinical pharmacokinetics. Also, the applied biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics will also have clinical application of pharmacokinetics. The pharmacokinetics that I will teach you will provide you with the principles that will allow you to deal with different scenarios where you need to administer a drug to a patient. Okay. Now, there is a very important website from which most of the notes are retrieved or written or provided, اللي هو boomer.org/c/p1. If I open this website, now this is the website. It's by David Bornay. And you will see even laboratory parts, okay, laboratory experiments, okay, the things that you will do in the lab, you will see them here with even a video demonstration, as you will see here. For example, you will see this one. Okay, so it allows you to see how the experiments need to be performed. So actually this one is a summary of the main textbook اللي هو تاع شارجل, which is written and provided in very simple way. If we go back to the website, you will see that a more updated version for this course is available في البيسك pharmacokinetic. If I press on this, now this is the basic pharmacokinetics, and you could go through these. For example, if I choose one compartment IV bolus, okay, it will give you the details. The nice thing is here you have a quiz which you can use in order for you to exercise. So you can use also this one. Otherwise, you can still use this website. This is the main website. It's very similar to the updated version. Okay, so if you click here one compartment, you will also see similar thing, but you will not see any quiz. Okay, so this will be your main reference in addition to the textbook. Now, what you are supposed to study about. Now, you know that the drug is given by different routes. The main route is the extravascular route, اللي هي extravascular يعني we mean that it's outside the vessels, outside the veins, outside the arteries, which is mainly through oral administration, or maybe it's intravascular, such as the IV route. Now, what we need to know is what will happen when you give the drug, whether by IV route, which is the simplest pharmacokinetic study, because it does not involve absorption of the drug, it does not involve metabolism of the drug before it gets to the systemic circulation. So it's considered as the simplest pharmacokinetic description. And what you need to know is what happens to the drug concentration in the blood with time. طبعا when you inject a drug into the bloodstream, all of the drug is at once in the bloodstream and then starts slowly to decrease. Now, why the drug concentration decreases in the system? Do you know why? The reason is, now someone will tell me it's because the drug gets distributed to body tissues. Yes, correct. But a very important thing for sure, it will start also to get eliminated. Now here, how does it get eliminated? طبعا, as I already talked about this, by metabolism and excretion. Metabolism mainly happens where? In the liver. And excretion happens where? In the kidneys. Okay? Whenever I tell you about pharmacokinetic, طبعا you know the definition. It can be defined in different ways. For example, mathematical description of ADME processes. Sometimes they define it simply as what the body does to the drug. What the body does to the drug. عكس الفارماكودايناميك اللي هي what the drug does to the body. Anyway, whenever I tell you pharmacokinetic, you should imagine the following. اللي هي drug concentration time relationship. يعني I want you to imagine a graph. In this graph you have x-axis, y-axis. Okay? And in this, let me draw it for you. You have x-axis and you have y-axis. Okay, this is y, this is x. X is time in hours and y is the concentration. So if you give an injection, you will have such concentration declining from highest in the beginning and then it decreases slowly. So whenever I say pharmacokinetic, I want you to think of the time, okay, versus concentration. Time, concentration, okay? In addition to this, طبعا we will study different routes of administration and what happens to this graph and how the clearance will affect this curve that you see here. And also we are going to talk about clinical application of pharmacokinetics. Okay, we will see how different populations, different characteristic of patients, those with renal or hepatic disease can affect or can influence how much dose should be given and in what frequency. Course learning outcomes or course CLOs, course learning outcomes. You are supposed to describe the influence of different routes of drug administration on the plasma drug concentration curve. Yani, what happens now? This is by IV. I gave an injection by IV, so this is what I have. What if I give it by infusion? What if I give it orally? What will happen to this curve? You should be able to demonstrate your knowledge, understanding of that. Also, you are supposed to simulate, and this is in the lab, analyze pharmacokinetic data. Now, simulate, you will see that in the lab, you will do it in the lab. Analyze pharmacokinetic data will be in the lab, plus, in addition to the lab, also in the theory, you will have to analyze pharmacokinetic data. Also, you will write report, and you will also be responsible to provide me with a project. Okay? Now, very important thing, new thing maybe to you, which is the teaching learning method that I will be using with you in this semester. It's different from what you have learned previously. I'm going to use something called team-based learning. It's a very effective method, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what do I mean by team-based learning. Now, previously I used to give my lectures and I'm sure you liked my lectures previously. I used to interact with you. The problem is it's mainly a passive way of teaching you or for you to learn. It's a passive way because you are sitting and probably you are not listening to me, or probably you miss some information. So you are not actively participating in the learning process. Now, team-based learning will ensure that you are responsible for your own learning. Okay? Now, how is that? Okay. Now, I will tell you how this is done. Okay, suppose we are going to start our first topic. For example, let's say mathematical background or single IV bolus administration. Okay. Now, I will tell you what is required from you, what you are required to read, and I will give you all reading materials required to allow you to learn. Okay. Now this is my job, so I'm facilitating for you. I'm giving you all the opportunities to learn, and then it will be your responsibility to do the reading and search for the information. طبعا I will facilitate everything for you, so you will not have any problem finding the required information, because all lectures will be in a video, plus you will have the lecture notes, and I will also be available for you to answer any question. So as I said, let's suppose that I gave you a topic. Now you will be in a team. This team will be from 4 to 5 students maximum. Among yourselves, you will divide the topic so that each individual, each one of you, will try to read and understand certain concept in the topic. Okay. Otherwise, for example, if someone is very good, okay, in the group, and he's able to read everything, this person will read everything, will be ready, and in the next lecture, okay, in the next class, this group will sit together and they will start explaining to each other the topic. إذن, let me repeat this again. I will give you the reading material, the video, everything. Okay? So everything will be with you. You will take it. You will divide tasks among yourselves. And in the next class, you will come and every group will start discussion among themselves to learn about this material, including if I ask for any assignments like homeworks. Okay? Now in the class you will be talking with your team, discussing everything. Maybe you have a question that you could not cover, maybe something you couldn't understand, and you will find me passing through the groups, between the groups. I'll be passing between the groups, and then you can ask me whatever question you have. Okay? So the whole class will be spent for you to ask questions if you like, and to learn among yourselves about the reading materials. طيب. This class, suppose, is ended. Now the next class you come, the first thing will happen is you will have what we call the individual readiness assurance test. شو يعني? Everyone will have a quiz. Okay? You will need to answer the a set of questions individually, not as a team, individually. And these or the scores that you get will be calculated towards your final marks. يعني it will be calculated. يعني you cannot come not prepared. You have to be prepared individually, everyone. You are responsible. Once you finish this, then you will go to what we call team readiness assurance test. Now you will sit together as team and you will have the quiz again, but as a team. Okay? So in this case, you will know if you answered something incorrectly. Also, it will give you the chance if you want to ask me a question, because the score here in the team readiness assurance test is not calculated in the student score. So it's kind of open. Okay, it's kind of open in the sense you can ask your team, you can ask me if you did not or you do not understand a certain question, or maybe you have an argument about the answer, etc. Now this is the chance. So isn't the same quiz that you had individually, you will have it again as a team. Okay. Right. After that, you'll be giving reading assignments. Okay. So you can distribute this reading assignments among yourself and be ready for the next class. Okay. Then I will give you reading materials. I will tell you what to read, from where to get the information, etc., etc. And then you will divide the reading among yourselves. And in next class, guess what will happen? Can you guess? In the next class, you will come. Every team will teach each other or discuss the reading material together, and the class after that, what will happen? Again, individual readiness assurance test, team readiness assurance test, and then you'll be given another reading material. Is that clear? I hope this is clear, and this is what will happen. Now, why I'm using TBL? Because it has proved to be effective worldwide. In this case, the students are not passive, they are active learner. Yani you should seek the information. I'm not going to spoon feed you, even though in the videos you will see me lecturing, but in the end you will be the one responsible for the reading. Okay? Okay, the first topic you will have is mathematical background and how to present the data in graph. The second topic will be compartmental model and linear pharmacokinetic. Then one compartment IV bolus. Then you will have your, okay, here, طبعا, I should have deleted this one. Okay, there is no first quiz because every week you will have a quiz. Every week you will have a quiz. So in total you might have probably 10 quizzes during the semester, and I will take the average of these quizzes out of 10. Okay, so after that you have intravenous infusion, then you will have midterm exam, there is the vacation, spring vacation, then you have metabolism, oral administration, multiple IV bolus administration, nonlinear pharmacokinetic, clinical application of pharmacokinetic. Now these are the topics that at least you need to cover. In the lab sessions, you will be complementing the theory. يعني for example, we will talk about one compartment IV bolus. شوفوا هون. Also, you have one compartment IV bolus. You have one compartment model IV infusion. Also here you will see intravenous infusion. So the lab is supposed to complement theory, okay? So if you are asked whether the lab is complementing the theory or is emphasizing what you have taken in theory, the answer is yes, okay? For the quizzes, it will be, as I said, continuous every week through individualized readiness assurance test, and this is calculated towards your final score, okay? Midterm will be in March 8th to 19th, and the lab exam will be the week after you complete your lab works. The final exam will be covering all materials not covered in the midterm, and of course it will be within the final exam timetable, so you have to check that and make sure that you are looking at the finalized exam timetable, okay? Now, what is your course project? Now, the project will be out of 10. The continuous individual readiness assurance test, all of them will count out of 10, okay? The average. I will take the average out of 10. Will course project is also out of 10. So, what I want to describe to you now is how to get 10 out of 10, how not to lose any points in this project. Is it possible? Yes, of course, it is possible. Now I will tell you how. طبعا you will be divided, as I said, to teams. عشان هيك the method I'm using called team-based learning. You will be divided to teams. In this team, there will be 4 to 5 students, about 5 students, and you'll be required to present or to have a PowerPoint presentation in one of the topics. High topics already we will be covering them during the semester, okay? So each group will pick up one of these titles, and then they need to prepare PowerPoint presentation in a professional manner, okay? Now, when I say professional, you should not include in each slide, you should not include so many words. Always it's better to present things as graphs and as tables. This will also help you to avoid plagiarism. Okay? Plagiarism means you are copying and pasting. You are taking things as it is. So you know that this is strictly prohibited. No plagiarism is allowed. It will be subjected to university policies, and you may fail the course because of plagiarism. So please avoid that. So each slide will contain very summarized points. Preferably you need to use graphical presentation. As I said, this is pharmacokinetics. When I say pharmacokinetics, I said you need to imagine concentration time curve. Now, don't forget that you need to have title page. In this title page, you need to write the title of the review, what you are reviewing, one compartment, IV bolus, intravenous infusion, metabolism, etc. So you need to write the title, and then student names and their IDs. Don't forget to write your ID. Don't just write Sarah something, because there are many students with the name Sarah. You need to write the IDs as well. And then you need to write your section number, whether this is section F21 or F22. Then you need to write the course name and the course number. Now, what is the course name and the course number? It's already given in this course plan. هاي الcourse name وهاي الcourse number. Okay? And I will leave a copy of this course plan in Moodle, so you can access it anytime. Okay, and then the last thing, you will have to write to whom you are submitting this presentation and the submission date of your presentation. This is the title page, one slide. The second slide will be a table of contents. You will have to tell me the titles under this topic. يعني هذا الtopic, what are the titles you are discussing under the topic? For example, you are discussing the differential equation, the integrated equation, the first order kinetics. So you will have to write the subtitles in the table of contents along with the slide number. As I said, for each point, it's preferable that you give a diagram and some illustrating examples. At the end, or before the end, you have to write conclusion. In conclusion, you are summarizing everything you talked about, okay? And then you have to write the references. Now, this is very important. I'm telling you, be careful. First, you should not have any plagiarism. Second, the information you take, you should tell me where you are taking it from. Okay? Now, I will tell you, the reference could be a website, right? For example, like this website that I have showed you. You could have probably went to this one, and then maybe you took some information like this graph. Okay, for example, let's say you took this graph, etc. So you want to say that you took it from that website, or maybe from the textbook. You know that I told you you have the Applied Biopharmaceutics and Pharmacokinetic, 7th edition. This is the 7th edition, La Chargil. Maybe you took it from here, okay? Or, طبعا, if you take it from here, it will be from a chapter. For example, if we go here, it's from chapter 4, La David Lee, okay? Or maybe you took it from a textbook. Okay, now in this textbook there are chapters, but the chapters are prepared by the same editors here. They are the ones who prepare the whole textbook. يعني مش كل chapter is made by an author that is maybe not the editor himself. Okay, so this is the basic pharmacokinetic 2nd edition, which I already gave you these two textbooks. See, this is the Applied Biopharmaceutics and also the basic pharmacokinetics. So let's go again and go to the references. So if you take something, then you have to refer to it. You may take everything from one source, but preferable take it from more than one source. If you take information from more than one source, then you have to use numbering system. So for example, the information A, you took it from a reference number 1. Information B, you took it from a reference number 2. Information C, you took it from a reference number 3. So how to write the references? This is very important, okay? How do you write them at the end, the last slide that has the references? Okay, I will show you the way. Let's suppose you took some information from the textbook اللي هو إيش? This one, the main textbook. Okay, suppose you go to this chapter, okay, اللي هو 1 compartment open model intravenous bolus administration, and it's by Lee who is surname David S.H. Okay, so how do you write the reference here? Okay, see, here I will write the name of the author who prepared this chapter. طبعا I start with the surname and then the abbreviation or the initials of his other names. شوفوا لي DSH. Let me go back here. هيا لي بعدين ديفيد صارت DSH. Okay. Okay. Then the year. Now the year is the year of the textbook. When was this textbook given? It was 2015. Here it's written 16, so in this case you write 2016. Okay. طيب. After that, full stop is in between brackets 2015 full stop. Then the title of the chapter. What is the title of the chapter? Let me go back. It was this one. One compartment open model intravenous infusion. So this is the title. Then, comma, N. Because this chapter is where? In the textbook. What is this textbook? Okay, it's by Shargil. نروح هنا again. مين سوى هذا؟ اللي هو شارجل L. شارجل is the surname, L is the initial, and U السرنيم بعدين A B C اللي هو الانيشيال. شوفوا هون in شارجل L and U A B C. Now between brackets you have to say editors, EDS اختصارها. Editors. These are the editors. طب هدول الاديتورز of which textbook؟ بسوي كوما and then I have to write the textbook. طيب بعدين full stop. Then the edition. أي edition is this textbook? Let me see. It's 7th edition. طيب بعدها I have to say in which who's the publisher and in which city. طبعا here you will see many cities. I have chosen the first one is enough, New York. So let's go back. أيوه 7th edition in New York. بعدين الببلشر له ماجرو هيل education. من وين جبت ماجرو هيل education؟ من هون. هيا ماجرو هيل education. And then you have to say what are the pages of the chapter. The pages of the chapter اللي هو من 75 to 96. Okay, هيو ل 96. This is ايش؟ The chapter. مش 95, 96. Okay. طيب شايفين كيف how you write it if it is a chapter in a book. طيب if it is from a book, الeditors هم اللي مسويين the whole textbook. They have prepared the whole textbook. They are the ones who prepared every chapter of the textbook. In this case, you write the names of the editors or the authors of the textbook. هذا surname بعدين abbreviation initials SS بعدين surname والinitial والسنة the year. I'll show you this one. هيو. This is the surname and SS الinitial and Breen والinitial PJ. Okay. طيب this is 2012. Okay, this textbook is 2000. هيو second publication 2012. Okay. Here it says Pharmaceutical Press London. I will take the first one, London. Okay, it's second edition. شوف كيف how I write it. Okay, اسمه الكتاب اللي هو Basic Pharmacokinetics. This is the title of the textbook. Full stop. Second edition. Full stop. London اللي هي the city of the publisher. and then the publisher. Okay. طيب, suppose you took it, or you took the information from a website. Let's say this is the chapter, maybe chapter 4. This is the title. This is the author. This is the version, or when it was written, when it was updated. Okay. So how do you write it? You took this, for example, this one. Okay. Or you took some information. So how do you write it in this way? شوفوا كيف نسوي. First you write the author's name. طبعا ديفيد برون، هي راح تكون لازم تكون هيك، برون دي بصير اسمه. يعني you take the surname and then the initial. 2001 because as I said here it's 2001. Then شوفوا the title of the website of the topic اللي هو IV1 compartment IV bolus. هي. This is the title. Where did you get it from? هي الويبسايت. I got it from this website. Okay. طيب, when did you last access? متى أخذتوا هاي الانفورميشن؟ For example, it was last access on the 27th of January 2020. This is the way you write from a website. مش تكتبوا لي, don't just write for me www.boomer.org/c/p1 etc. No, you have to write the full information. If you take the information from a journal, for example, let's say from in vitro dissolution and in silico modeling shortcuts in bioequivalence testing. Okay. Now this is the title in the journal. It's by الطباخة MM. Okay. هاي خلينا نشيل النقاط عشان make it simpler. و العمر MJ الانيشيال. Okay. هدول الauthors of the topic. خلينا افرجيكم اياه. شوفوا, this is, let's say you took it from here. Okay, for example. أيوة, الطباخة MM, العمر MJ. This is, and from which journal? It's from journal called Pharmacokinetic. Okay. Now let's go back. In vitro distribution bioequivalence. نقطة بعدين the journal name. Okay, اللي هو Pharmacokinetic. بعدين the year in which the paper was published or the article was published. بعدين الفوليوم. Okay, الفوليوم. بعدين فاصلة البيج number أو الارticle number. Now this journal specifically uses article number, not pages. Okay, so it's giving it as 45. Otherwise it will be, for example, 45 to 52, for example. Okay. If we go back, hi, PP, when you have more than one page, you write PP dot. If it is one page, you just write 1P. Okay. So another thing which you need to be aware of, طبعا you can write the references in different ways. There are different styles. Okay. It's very important that the essential informations are there and you are consistent. Consistent يعني مش مرة, for example, you write, for example, take this one and put it here. بصير هيك. Okay, it can be like this. So whatever you do, you always use the same the same style. Don't just change by yourself. One time you write it as you see here, and in another time you write it in different way. Okay, so be consistent. This is very important. Okay, so the last date for submission, and it will be submission through Moodle, اللي هو 12th Sunday, 12th of April 2020. So you have plenty of time, but you have to work from now. And you will have to submit this through Moodle. And in Moodle, I will check for any plagiarism. Now, regarding the distribution of marks, there are 10 marks for the quizzes اللي هو individualized readiness assurance test في عليها 10 marks. الميد-term 20 marks. Laboratory activities, your skills, lab reports and lab assessment, we have 30 marks. Course project, the one that I just explained to you, is out of 10, and the final exam is out of 30, so the total is 100. Attendance, if you are absent for any reason, still all the materials assigned in the class will be required from you even when you are absent. Related websites, you have these. طبعا boomer.org is very important. You will need to have graph paper printing software, because we are going to deal a lot with numbers and graphs, so you need to have this software with you in order to print graph papers. And there are other important and helpful websites that you may utilize, whether for your PowerPoint presentation or for you to understand the course in a better way. I hope you got what I want you to get. Okay. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask me, whether in the class, in my office, and through emails. And I will probably also have a WhatsApp group in case you need to approach me in different times. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. As I said, we are going to use team-based learning. Be prepared, be happy. This is very important course. I need you to appreciate the course. If you don't appreciate the course, it means you are not there where I want you to be. Okay? Have a nice day. Bye-bye.